Are you absolutely stoked about the new Call of Duty Black Ops 6? Are you so excited to play Team Deathmatch every night until next year when they release a new Call of Duty? Well, then this video is definitely not for you. This video is for the big boys and girls who have an IQ higher than their age. This is for the people who love chess, not checkers. It's for the people who enjoy classy but invigorating combat, not whatever this is.
Oh, you want to kiss each other, huh? You want to kiss each other? This is what you want to do? You want to kiss each other, huh?
What a no! Yeah, pussy! You're mine! What are you gonna do about it? What are you gonna do? Nothing! Yeah.
And now that they're gone, for those still left, I want you to know that when I first started writing the script for this Hunt Showdown video, I did not really know what the intro was going to be, and I knew I wanted a quick little jab at our average Call of Duty player, but then what? Was I going to have an epic montage of headshots or a video of an epic firefight? And what I realized when I was writing the script is I wanted to spend a lengthy portion of this video about sound. Especially as someone who works my 9 to 5 in the audio and music industry, this game is the only game that I've played where sound is king. Sound in Hunt Showdown is like a resource. You have to choose when to be loud and when to be quiet. If you make too much noise at the wrong time, it could cost you the game. You need to be strategic and think about every action and whether you're going loud or stealthy. And that point got made right about here. So I went into this Hunt Showdown match solo with a free hunter to get some footage for the sound design portion later on in the video. And I had no intentions of PvP. And I was going to lay low, get some samples and get out. But then I heard these chickens go off in the direction that I was heading. And I knew one or more people were going to be in my way. And sure enough, I spotted one. And I took a shot and got clapped by my skill issue, so I wait until he thinks he's safe. He runs out into the open, and I lead my shot, and... Now that man could have lived on, maybe even have killed me instead when I came into the compound, but he made a silly little mistake by setting off those chickens, and as the saying goes, hunt giveth, and hunt taketh away. But mostly Hunt just taketh. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Hunt Showdown 1896. Hunt Showdown is an online PvPvE game developed by Crytek, and it was released in February of 2018, and if I had to put a label on Hunt Showdown, I would say probably an extraction shooter. However, this game has a mix of strategy, battle royale, survival horror, with a sprinkle of stealth and some siege mechanics. The atmosphere, art style, and world building are fantastic, and as demonstrated before, outstanding sound mechanics. It retails for about 30 bucks, and I bought 3 copies a couple years ago for me and my friends for $15 each. And that happens fairly often, especially with the holidays around the corner. So if any part of this video sounds intriguing to you, I think that this is definitely worth it, as the experience is 100 times better when you experience it firsthand. You play as one of many bounty hunters, but don't worry, this is not a hero shooter or anything. The hunter only affects your appearance. You'll get some random perks and weapons, and there's also a lot of hunters to choose from. Most of them are purchased with blood bonds, which you can unlock in-game, or shell out some real-world dollars for them. You also get one free hunter with random low-level gear for free between each round. You pick your hunter and the gear, typically consisting of a large primary weapon and a smaller secondary weapon, up to 4 tools and 4 consumables, all of which cost in-game currency called Hunt Dollars. And you get Hunt Dollars by just playing the game and extracting. But don't get too bad and bougie just yet, blowing your load on an expensive loadout, because if you take that into a round and die, you lose the hunter and all the gear the hunter had with them. The good news is, while some weapons can be much stronger in certain circumstances, every weapon has a really fair chance in the game. Obviously, if you find yourself fighting indoors with a sniper, you're probably going to get annihilated by somebody around the corner with a shotgun, and vice versa. If you're caught in an open field with a shotgun while someone shoots you with a rifle, you will probably also lose that battle. You spawn into the map with up to 11 other players, playing either solo, duos, or trios. The main goal is very simple. You kill the boss or bosses, get their bounties, and extract. However, that is much easier said than done, because to find the bosses, you have to either be very, very lucky and have them spawn right on top of you where you spawned at, or in most cases, you need to find the clues around the map and slowly remove sections from your map to narrow down the boss's location. And once you get 3 clues, you will have narrowed it down to the exact location, and you can go get that bread.
But wait! There's more!
Assuming you killed the boss either by stabbing them 400 times with a knife, or you found a shovel or axe laying around to melee them to death, or you shot them 40 times with a pistol, or one-shot them and your teammate with a big dynamite bundle, you still have to banish the boss. The good news is that if your team starts the banishing process, you will get all of your HP back as soon as the banishment starts. The bad news is that your banishment process gets announced to the entire server, and it reveals your location to everyone else on the map. So you have to start hunkering down, set up traps or ambushes to protect your prize. And this part can be very, very intense, listening for sounds around the map to determine if anyone might be coming to take the bounty away from you. If you manage to get the bounty, you have a few seconds of wall hacks using your dark sight that will show you the general area of anyone within 150 meters. You fight your way out so you can go extract and get paid, but then you get that notification. The second boss is being banished. So while you were caught up in the fight with the team trying to get your bounty, another team is found and slayed the second boss. And now you have to choose to leave with what you have, or run the gauntlet and get the second set of bounties. And unless you're a bitch, the answer is always get that second bounty. So you run over 2 compounds away to fight the team that slayed the second boss. On your way there, you hear gunfire from that direction. You are playing duos, so you know that there can be up to 6 teams on the map. You killed 2 teams, so you know that there can be 3 teams fighting over this bounty. And you hear 3 different rifles and pistols being fired back and forth. There's a good chance that there are 2 teams of duos duking it out. And the one pistol you hear is probably somebody who has a shotgun and they're just using their pistol because they're fighting at a range right now. And as you approach the compound, you hear a different rifle from the other side of the compound, and you found the last team. But you only hear 1 gun from that direction, so maybe that's a solo player, or maybe their teammate died and they need a bounty to get the revive. You hear another shot from that side, followed by a death sound. Then you hear another shot, and another death sound. That last guy just killed the other team outside, and as you approach the main building you finally hear it. That shotgun that guy was holding on to, followed by the death grunt of the solo player. And now you know that it is just you, your friend, versus the guys with the bounty. Your hands are sweaty, you're dialed in more than ever, and it is time for the final showdown. This is what Hunt is good at. Intense scenarios that get your blood pumping all the time. Now, I only have 250 hours in the game. Every game is different, except for the fact that your heart rate rises, your butt cheeks clench, and you'll ride that tension through each match until you either die or live to die another day. Now, Hunt Showdown isn't for little boys that just play Call of Duty, which is why I wanted to get them out of the way at the beginning of the video. It will not hold your hand. It treats you like an adult, putting all responsibility on you as the player. If you lose HP, you will regenerate slowly, but only to the end of that health chunk. If you are down 1.5 health chunks, you will regenerate that half bar, but you will still need to manually heal that last bar with a medkit. If you don't have a medkit, you have to find a medkit. If you are bleeding, you need to stop the bleeding manually. If you get burned, you will need to stop the burning. The game will not stop it for you. And if you burn a whole health chunk, that is gone until the end of the match, or until you banish a boss, or if you get a restoration pack in the center of this new map. Both stopping a bleed and putting out fire means that you cannot run or fire your weapon for a short duration. So you will have to choose to either stop the loss of health or continuing to fight the enemy and take them out before you make yourself vulnerable by trying to heal up, or you bleed out and die or burn to death. If your weapon has 7 shots loaded and you use all 7, the game will not auto reload for you. And when you finally line up that perfect headshot and you hear that click, you have to make sure you keep an eye on how much ammo is left in the weapon at any time. This game also has partial reloads, so sometimes reloading will eject a bullet from the chamber and waste 1 bullet. This game also has friendly fire, not just for guns, but explosives, bug bombs, molotovs. If you don't coordinate properly, you can end up harming or killing a teammate or yourself. And trust me, it's easy and fun. If you manage to extract from the match, you only take what you have on you. If you took a gun from another downed hunter, then that is the gun that's going to be default in that hunter's loadout. If you brought 4 consumables into the game and you used 3 of them, you will only have the 1 left in the loadout. You will need to rebuy anything that you used, and if you don't extract, you have to rebuy everything. The game has just recently gone through a massive update and rebranding in August, which had also broken the game's previous peak player count, while simultaneously giving it a mostly negative review score. While these Steam reviews do look pretty grim, that's all in part of this new toxic review bomb trend that we've been seeing a lot of recently. And maybe if these reviews were targeting something that affected gameplay, that would be understandable, but most of these negative reviews are about the UI from the update. It does suck. I mean, it's really, really bad, but the gameplay is fine. They took a really bad UI and they made it even worse in favor of console players. Like, why is control the back button? Seriously. But again, the gameplay isn't a problem. In fact, I think the gameplay is better than it did before. My biggest gripe with the game is how bad the hit registration was. I know I'm not great at the game. I know that I can hit a stationary target, and sometimes I would shoot 3 to 4 shots at someone sitting in a window and it just wouldn't hit. The hit reg was so bad that at one point Crytek issued a hit registration update, which made it better, but there was still a problem there. And then over the summer, I know that they were reworking some of the back end and servers for the game, and I think that really helped. Before it felt like every shot had a 60-40 chance of hitting, and now it feels much more like 80-20 or 90-10. Sometimes you'll shoot someone, but before their client says that they are dead, they can still get that shot off and they can kill you, causing a trade in some cases. This can be really annoying, and it does happen more than it used to. It's kind of rough for solo players, but if you're in a duo or a trio, you can get revived, but you'll still be missing that health chunk. This update also brought a new map. Currently, it's the only map that you can play, but they're bringing back the Stillwater Bayou, hopefully the day after this video comes out. But the new map moves away from the Louisiana Bayou location and takes it to Colorado, which in all aspects is a really nice breath of fresh air. It has mountains, quarries, mines, a new roaming boss, and on top of the visual overhaul, the developers have also reworked the audio engine, which was already great, but the way that sound bounces off the mountainsides and echoes through the caves, and even the quiet details that they put into this map are amazing.
With the Bayou's blessing, I can hunt the miscreation known as Rotjaw.
Hunt Showdown takes place in the late 1800s, and therefore the weapons are not like most FPS games out there. They are slow firing, slow reloading. They have travel time and newly added bullet drop, and depending on the ammo type you have in the weapon, the travel time and bullet drop will vary even more. But these weapons are very powerful. Recently, Crytek have updated the headshot mechanic to be that every headshot is a one-shot kill with any weapon at any range. And if you don't get the headshot, the time to kill is still relatively very low. I say relatively because in most modern shooters you can shoot an enemy with an SMG and take 5, 10, 20 shots to get a kill in a few seconds. In Hunt, it can take you 1 to 3 shots usually to get a kill, but the firefight might take a minute to play out. Like I said before, this is chess, not checkers. But it does take significantly less bullets to take down a hunter. GameSpot has also put out some really cool videos where a firearms expert reacts to the weapons in Hunt, breaks down how historically accurate they are. They even compare some of them to real-life versions of the weapons when possible. The level of detail that the gun design team has gone to is insane. There are also some fantasy weapons and equipment in the game that are not traditional, like the Bomb Lance, a personal favorite of mine. That's a melee weapon that can fire a bomb that can get impaled into a target before it explodes. There's also a bug bomb, which is a swarm of poisonous bees in a glass jar that you can shake up and throw, making the bees chase down and poison the closest hunter. The Hunt Showdown arsenal of weapons has also been updated to where the base version of every weapon is unlocked from the start. But if you want a silenced variant or a velocity ammo for a particular weapon, or a special ammo type of any sort for a weapon, you'll have to earn XP by using that weapon to unlock it. It's also important to note that weapon XP is shared between teammates, so if you're playing in trios and you all take a weapon from the same family, and every kill you all get will go towards each other's XP for that weapon. Now, I cannot say enough about the sound design to do it justice, so I just want you to listen. And for the best experience, you really need headphones. So on top of all these environment sounds, each weapon and piece of equipment has different sounds as well. If you have a lot of playtime in the game, you can even start to know what gun someone is using just by the sound. Or if you want to practice this skill, there is a tool in-game that you can use that will show you what different guns sound like at different distances, up to about 1,000 meters away. Sound can also tell you where your enemy is and what they are doing. I cannot find any specific credits on who worked on the sound design, but if you see this, you nailed this. And you should probably ask for a raise. Just saying. So Hunt Showdown has been out for about 5 years, and it has continuously grown in players since launch at a pretty steady rate, but for the last year or so, it seems to have been leveling out. This is understandable, as this game is definitely not for everybody. I mean, according to the Steam achievements, only 65% of players have actually killed another player, which is also up from the 40% it was about a year or so ago. Again, that's 65% of the people who played Hunt Showdown on Steam actually were able to kill another player. But even with this, the player base keeps growing. It goes against what most live service games do. It demands a lot from the players in terms of skill, strategy, and game knowledge, and it punishes players brutally for not meeting those demands. It is not as approachable as a game like Call of Duty or Apex or Overwatch, where you can climb the leaderboard just by getting carried. You gain almost nothing at all when you die in Hunt Showdown. Your XP is cut in half, and you'll be lucky to get enough Hunt dollars to buy a Ranger 73 and a health pack. But even with this, the player base keeps growing. The game has 54 DLCs, and all of those are just in-game cosmetics. And each one of those is 1 to 4 skins for weapons, hunters, or equipment. And the most expensive one is only $15, and the most of them are $10 or less. And this is similar to other live service games, but you get way more value per dollar in my opinion. And even with in-game purchases on a $30 game, which used to be $40, the player base keeps growing. And now it's time for a last-minute segment that I like to call Review. I did an unofficial review in my finals video, and I want to kind of keep that tradition going on these types of videos. Basically, I just take a look at the top negative Steam reviews that are currently on the page, so that way if a new player were to be looking at the game and they click negative reviews, this is what they would see, especially with the review bomb that's going on. And as expected, we have UI complaints. This guy with 131 hours hates the UI. He said, "Good job, Crytek, nailed it." But it was a negative review, so I'm confused. This guy with 430 hours is also saying bad UI. Oh, but wait, this guy has an actual gameplay point? Performance issues are off the charts. I would say I agree with that about 6 out of 10. For me personally, I have a 3070 Ti. I do not play on max settings. I play around high settings. And for the most part, if I'm not recording or streaming anything, I get a consistent 90 to 120 frames per second, but there are particularly 2 compounds on the new map that really make my PC struggle, and those are going to be Deadfall Timber and Greystone Pit. If I even look in the direction of Greystone Pit, I immediately drop down to 40 frames. There's got to be 1 or 2 things, particularly about these compounds, that Crytek could easily just fix and we can all be happy. This guy is also complaining about the new monetization. After the new update, you would log into the game and you would see an ad for the Hunt Showdown store. And while Hunt Showdown does cost about $30 at full price right now, it is still a live service game and they still need to make some money. I just click out of the ads and I don't give it a second thought. And this guy with 800 hours is also complaining about the UI. And this guy with 2,400 hours, let's see what he has to say. First of all, he hates the UI. All right, got it. And then he's complaining about being a 6-star and getting placed into lobbies with 6 stars. And he does bring up that he wants to invite friends to play and how if you have one person on your team who's 6-star, they're probably going to get 6 stars in their lobbies. In my experience, that is also the case. I play with my friend Josh Mad. You can check him out at twitch.tv/JoshMad. Oh,
Oh, no way, dude. I think that was a kill.
I got this one too.
Oh my gosh. They're going to think I'm cheating. They're going to think I'm cheating.
He was pretty consistently 6-star until the new update. Now he hovers between 5 and 6. And every time I play with him, we do have a lot of 6 stars in the lobby. So I can say, yes, that is true. I'm only a 3-star, and I still get matched up with these 6 stars when I'm playing with Josh. However, to me, it sounds like this person is wanting a non-skill-based matchmaking system. I just recorded a 10-minute rant about this, so I'm going to keep this really short. You can't have your cake and eat it too. This guy wants to lower his MMR, essentially smurfing, so that way he could have a good quote-unquote balanced match and not play with people of the same skill level. At the same time, he is also complaining about bringing in new players who are then getting stomped by higher level people. So he wants to be the higher level people that stomp on the new guys, but also doesn't want his new friends to get stomped on by higher level people. Got it. Moral of the story, Crytek, please just fix that UI. Don't make the control button the back button. Make it to where when I recruit a hunter, it's automatically selected for me if I don't have one, because that's really annoying. Make adding equipment easier and make saving loadouts easier. Cool? Cool.
There's a lot of complaints right now. Currently, the main complaint is that UI, which seems to be an easy fix, and I believe the devs will do the players right with that. The hit registration still isn't quite 100%.
Jesus Christ.
Yo, I'm recording that. That went to the right of my face. That didn't even hit me.
Even watching other players who are far better than I am be dead on a target and still miss. But it is way better than it was. And another recent complaint is the shotguns, who got a very undeserved buff. And community has been expressing that on Reddit, and I think that the devs are going to fix that too. If you have not tried Hunt Showdown, I think now is a great time to give it a try. And if you don't want to pay the $30, like I said, give it a month or so, and I'm sure there will be a sale for 40 to 50% off. And if you've played before, but you haven't played in a while, I think now is a great time to give it a try again, get back into it. And now, if you are an avid player, what do you love the most about Hunt? What is your biggest pet peeve about the game? Feel free to share what you like or don't like in the comments. Good luck out there, bounty hunters. Until next time.